Hello everybody and welcome back to round 2 of the Klaczynski Open here in Tinley Park, Illinois. And the first round we saw Dustin Zimmerman take down Colin Peterick in a very long drawn-out game. Best 2 out of 3 series actually, 2 pretty long games. And in the second round we're actually bringing Dustin back for a second game. Might as well feature him again because his opponent is the one and only Alex Brosseau, maybe known better to the Pokemon community as Big Chuck 01. Now this guy was an absolute legend of the game. For years, considered probably the best player in the world, rivals with Jason Klaczynski for all these years. They were best friends growing up. Different, Jason won the World Championships. Alex hit the rough luck when it came to those big tournaments. He had a top 8 at the World Championships, top 8 at the U.S. Nationals, never got that breakthrough for the big win. But he was always considered, hands down, one of the best players in the world. And he's making his comeback here at the Klaczynski Open 2013. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime star-studded matchup between kind of the new school, up-and-coming, established star, Dustin Zimmerman, against kind of the old school. You know, this is the guy who, he is the 2002 world champion. I take that back. Someone saw him win. He won the 15 over event in the Wizards of the Coast 2002 World Championships because they eliminated the 15 plus division, so he won the Professor Cup. Chuck is actually the 2002 World Champion, as he likes to call himself, so should be an interesting game. I guess we'll go ahead and switch over to the match. Looks like our tripod got messed with a little bit, but that's okay. We can still see the game. So we're going to have Alex on the left, playing a Team Plasma deck, and Dustin on the right, of course, with Darkrai Garbodor once again. And again, this is a best 2 out of 3 matchup. It's going to be 75 minutes, so going to be a long series. This is an interesting dynamic for a matchup, definitely. Typically, the Darkrai Garbodor is probably favored in this matchup, but Chuck is such a good player that I would not count him out. So Dustin, he runs all sorts of things to beat Plasma. He runs Enhanced Hammers to take out the special energy of the Plasma deck. He runs Silver Mirror to stop the Team Plasma Pokemon from hurting his Sableye. So this is definitely going to be another war of attrition. And we'll see if Alex can kind of overrun Dustin before he gets that lock set up with a Garbodor with those items, those Enhanced Hammers, those Silver Mirrors. I don't know. Alex definitely is going to have to put pressure on early. That's what Plasma does. It's definitely going to need to do that in this matchup. You know, one thing to note about this, I'm always intrigued by these kinds of matchups because Alex is a player who was incredible in his day. He understood this game so well. Tactically, the best player I've ever seen in my life. And I've been playing Pokemon for over 10 years, played against some of the best in the world, played against the best in the world. And I would say, hands down, Alex is the best tactical player I have ever seen to ever play the Pokemon TCG. He understands exchanges and strategies and subtle things extremely well. So if anybody can find a way to win against Dustin, it's going to be Alex. However, he hasn't played very often recently. He actually just picked up cards again about a week ago, and he probably doesn't know what all the cards do. So that is going to be the stumbling block for Chuck. He just is unfamiliar with the cards. But I was playing with him last night, and it looks like the round's going to start. I was playing with him last night. He knows what everything does now. There might be a few things that catch him off guard, but he's got a good grasp of how the game works. And here we go. 75 minutes, best 2 out of 3 here between Alex Brosseau and Dustin Zimmerman. This is going to be an awesome, awesome matchup. So looks like Chuck is going to start off first with a Deoxys EX and a Prism Energy. And it's going to catch her out the Darkrai on the bench, and then we're going to have a Juniper turn 1. So not a terrible start here. Looks like you have to discard a Prism and a Blend Energy, though. So that is pretty bad. Those energy are going to be very crucial for Alex throughout this game because of those enhanced hammers that Dustin plays. I know he plays 2 enhanced hammer, which discards a special energy from your opponent's field. So each and every energy will count for Alex. He wants, in this matchup, to be using Thunderous EX. That Raiden Knuckle gets an energy from the discard pile, attaches it to one of your bench Team Plasma Pokemon. That's what you're going to want to use in this kind of a matchup. And when you have to discard 2 right off the bat, and you attached a Prism to the active, yikes. That's leaving yourself with 5 energy to attach to Thunderous EX the rest of the game. And that is not good. We'll see if Alex can make a game of it, though. Definitely an uphill battle starting from the first turn, though. Alright, so we do see an Ultra Ball. Alex did already attach to his Deoxys DX, so his offense this turn is extremely limited. He really won't be able to do anything this turn. Looks like he's going to discard a... couldn't see the other card. It's either a Laser or a Chorus Machine and a Burbank City Gym for that Ultra Ball. If it's a Laser, that's actually a really big deal. The key to this matchup for Alex is going to have to be knocking out Sableye in 1 hit. You need to do that if you're the Plasma deck. If you let Sableye get off 2 Junk Hunts without knocking it out, I mean, that's 4 item cards you're going to let him get back. You can't do that. That's 4 potential enhanced hammers. Yikes. That's not going to work for you. So, whenever you see the big card in this matchup, that's going to be Silver Mirror. So when Silver Mirror is attached to your Pokemon, you prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to that Pokemon by Team Plasma Pokemon. So, Alex runs all Team Plasma Pokemon except for that Keldeo EX, which means Sableye will be immune to every attack from his Pokemon except for Keldeo EX, which really doesn't get powered up very often. Ugh. So not a good card for Alex to see here. Looks like Dustin is going to promote that Sableye with the Silver Mirror. And if he has a Darkness Energy, he can use Junk Hunt this turn. If not, he's going to have to pass. He did play the Hypnotoxic Laser Poison that Deoxys EX. Oh well. So now, got the 30 damage on that Deoxys EX. We'll see what Alex does from here. He does have the Float Stone on the Keldeo EX. And he will be able to rush in and retreat. And he's going to take a look at Silver Mirror. Usually that's not a good sign when you got to read that card. But, you know, that might look like Alex doesn't know what that card is. He knows. He just wants to make sure. He's well aware Silver Mirror existed. He talked to me before the tournament. He said, if there's one card I'm afraid of, it's just Silver Mirror shutting off my attacks. And, well, that's what he's run into. He wanted to run multiple Tool Scrapper, but he couldn't find the room. Now he's going to be in some trouble. Alright, so what is Alex going to do here? It looks like he's going to try to use Raiden Knuckle this turn. At least get an energy back. They can rush and retreat to the Thunderous and then Raiden Knuckle. It'll do 0 damage, but he will get energy in play. That'll be the important thing. If he can get enough energy in play to maybe power up that Kyurem, get a Blizzard Burn, and maybe kind of catch her around the Sableye, he can win. Now, he also does play Hypnotoxic Laser, which is very nice in this matchup. A lot of the Plasma decks started to cut out the Hypnotoxic Lasers from their list because Virizion EX started to become, well, a thing. It just came out in Plasma Blast. So a lot of players just replaced Hypnotoxic Laser with Silver Bangle, like the one we do see on Alex's Kyurem on the bench. But Alex's version still does run the Hypnotoxic Laser because it's still an extremely strong card. And you know, you think, you know, even against Virizion Genesect, you still have a pretty solid matchup. So we're just going to run the lasers for the other decks. Alright, so it looks like Dustin has absolutely nothing here. He just didn't even attach. He just catchered the Keldeo, lasered, and passed. That's his best 2 out of 3. So if this game does go downhill, it's not over. It's a best 2 out of 3. Dustin will have a chance to still win the series. You have to win 2 games to win the match. But I don't think he's really out of this game yet. Sure, it's looking very bad, but he has the Silver Mirror on his Sableye. This can buy him an absurd amount of time. I mean, Alex only plays 1 Tool Scrapper. I know that for a fact. And he's got to draw into it. And even if he draws into it, he's only knocking out 1 Sableye. He'll need to draw a Tool Scrapper and a Hypnotoxic Laser. He needs to do both at once so he can knock it out immediately. And if he doesn't do that, I mean, what does he do? If he doesn't knock out Sableye right when he Tool Scrappers away the Silver Mirror, then Sableye just junk hunts for Silver Mirror, and you end up losing. So he is going to play a Hypnotoxic Laser. I do like this. Might as well get the damage on there. Since you are going to need a laser to really knock that out anyway, and actually he's going to retreat into Kyurem and starts a Frost Spear. I do like this. I think I would like to see him target down the other Sableye. But it looks like he's going to go for Darkrai. And we'll see if Dustin wakes up here. Looks like no, he stayed asleep. So that Sableye is actually going to be knocked out from poison unless Dustin has a switch, and he doesn't. So Alex is going to get a cheap knockout here just from a laser to take away that Silver Mirror, and Dustin still has nothing. He has no supporters, no nothing. Really bad spot for Dustin now. He just may not have anything this game. Alex could take a cheap win, and you know, sometimes that's just how Pokemon goes. This would be huge for him to steal a win here in the first game. Do you see another energy on the Kyurem? And now, let's see. He's probably just preparing for Enhanced Hammer. And it looks like he's just going to Frost Spear. Because if Dustin does play an Enhanced Hammer, he doesn't want there to not be enough energy for him to potentially Blizzard Burn. Alright, so now we're going to see a Frost Spear for 30 onto Garbodor. Interesting choice that he's decided to spread it onto Garbodor now. Now, Alex, I don't know if he's played this matchup before. Plasma versus Darkrai Garbodor. So he may be coming up with a game plan on the fly here. He may think, well, Garbodor's pretty darn annoying. Shuts off my Keldeo, shuts off my Deoxys, shuts off all my stuff. Oh man, Dustin is just retreating to Darkrai and passing. Not good for Dustin. Now Alex is actually in a pretty good spot here. He can keep Frost Spearing away, or he can Blizzard Burn for a ton of damage here. What does he have in his hand to work with? Now, if he does have a Hypnotoxic Laser, he could laser the Darkrai and then Blizzard Burn for, it would be 150 with the Silver Bangle, and then the laser would be the extra 30 for the knockout, and he'll take 2 more prizes here. That's a huge move. Only thing is, it does prevent him from attacking the next turn unless he has a switch, because Garbodor is shutting off the rush in from Keldeo. So he's going to need a switch next turn. If he wants to reset the Kyurem, because when you use Blizzard Burn, you can't attack on the following turn. You need to put it to the bench in order to attack again. I'm pretty sure Kyurem's not going to be knocked out. So, alright, we're going to have Alex here go ahead and knock out Dustin's Darkrai, and jeez. Okay, Dustin's got a Juniper. This is a big turn. Alright, finally he got a supporter. He's going to be able to turn this game around, and, you know, even though Alex is up 3 prizes here, this is not an unwinnable situation for Dustin. In fact, this deck which he is affectionately named Hover Toxin, is able to come back from absurd situations. Look at all those things on Alex's bench. For example, the Keldeo that just got catchered out. There are so many things with retreat costs. And when you use Sableye Junk Hunt, we do see a random receiver here as well. We're going to reveal an N. Thankfully, Alex is not shuffling his hand. But Pokemon Catcher can just be recycled over and over and over with Sableye's Junk Hunt. And what he can keep doing is just, all right, I'll catch her out of Sableye, or I'll catch her out Keldeo. I catch her out Deoxys. Catch her out the other Deoxys. Catch her out Kyurem. And eventually when he gets Enhanced Hammers, he's just going to be able to go catch her out that 2 retreat cost Deoxys, Enhanced Hammer away your energy, Junk Hunt for an Enhanced Hammer and a catcher. And he'll be able to, if he can pull this off, he will be able to run Alex out of energy eventually with those Enhanced Hammers. Now the key here for Alex, he has to keep putting pressure on right now. He needs to knock out Sableye right now. He needs to make sure Dustin does not get multiple turns of Junk Hunt. Otherwise, those items are going to start to build up. And those items are going to, eventually just make it so that Dustin overwhelms Alex and makes a big comeback. So this is a big turn here for Alex. He's got to switch. So he can switch this turn into the Kyurem. Looks like he understands this pretty well. He knows, I can't let that thing survive. I need to Blizzard Burn that thing right now. I cannot let you keep Junk Hunting. And this does 2 things. First of all, it knocks out the Sableye. That's the obvious one. Number 2 is he'll go down to 2 prizes after this. Now that's good and bad. Good, you're a step closer to winning. That's good. Bad, Dustin has that N he revealed from Random Receiver. And actually, Alex is going to catch her out that Darkrai. And he's going to Blizzard Burn it. Well, he's only going to do 120. If he has a laser, it looks like he may have one. If he can laser here, he'll get the knockout. And, nope, that's a Chorus Machine. It's not a Hypnotoxic Laser. All those darn blue cards look the same. Does he have the laser? He's actually going to play an N here. He's going to put himself at 3 cards and then Dustin at 6. But, Dustin did just use Junk Hunt, so it's nice to reshuffle those cards back in. And then maybe Alex can hit a Hypnotoxic Laser. If he can do that, there's already 30 on the Darkrai, I believe. You can see this Frost Spear choice earlier in the game, where Alex decided to go for the Garbodor instead of the Darkrai. Could actually come back to hurt him. If he's going to be 30 short, that's unfortunate. And, gosh, if he had done 30 to this Darkrai before, he may have had a knockout here. But instead, he's going to have to Blizzard Burn for 120. And that Darkrai will be left to survive. Right, so we do see a Silver Mirror onto that Sableye. That thing is going to be protected. But has Alex just gotten too far ahead? He may have. He's up 3 prizes. He's got a Darkrai on board with 150 damage on it. So at some point, that could just be knocked out by a Frost Spear. And then it's just, he needs to knock out 1 more Pokemon to win. The life due for Dustin is in the discard pile as well. We do see another N. This time, Dustin will be the one playing it. And both players will shuffle in again. Alex will draw 3. Dustin will draw 6. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, can Alex actually close this game out? It looks like he's got enough energy in play. He's got enough stuff in play where it's definitely a possibility. And the number 1 thing he has left is resources. He has enough catchers left. He has Tool Scrapper left. He has Switch left, I'm sure. He has Hypnotoxic Laser left, I'm sure. Does he have enough of that stuff to win, though? Can he draw them in the right combination to take his last 3 prizes? It seems like he might have just enough to pull the game up. Dustin's first few turns were horrendous. So, I don't know. Dustin's going to need a few turns of reprieve here, where Chuck just does not, kind of explode in it and get a knockout. He needs a few turns to Junk Hunt for some stuff. Otherwise, he's definitely going to lose. Alright, so there we see the Junk Hunt with the Silver Mirror Sableye. This is the adjustment that Dustin has used now. And uh-oh, he's getting the Life Dew. He's getting back a Tool Scrapper and a Life Dew. This is some clever stuff here. And it looks like the Kyurem stays asleep. That may not matter too much because it couldn't attack anyway. It does prevent it from retreating though. Now, Dustin took two interesting choices with his Junk Hunt. He took a Tool Scrapper and he took a Life Dew. Now, why in the world would he take those two? It's actually very clever. What he wants to do next turn is Tool Scrapper away his own Float Stone and then attach a Life Dew to the Darkrai. Then Darkrai only gives up one prize when it's knocked out. And then Alex will still have to knock out 2 additional Pokemon after the Darkrai goes down. So this could be a huge play that swings this game all the way around. This could give Dustin enough time to actually win the game. And oh, there's a Scramble Switch. Whoa, this is huge. A lot of Plasma players have opted to play Computer Search nowadays. Alex is playing Scramble Switch. He Scramble Switches into the Keldeo EX, which is not a Team Plasma Pokemon. And now he'll be able to knock out the Sableye with Secret Sword. What an awesome play there from Alex. Wow. Now he'll go down to 2 prizes here. I definitely did not expect that. And now what is Dustin going to do? He's going to have to go for that play with the Tool Scrapper and the Life Dew. Otherwise, it's just a Frost Spear and this game is over. We're going to have a catcher onto the Deoxys EX. And maybe Dustin can still kind of grind this game out, but it's definitely going to be an uphill battle now. And he actually put the Life Dew onto Sableye, so he's not going with that play that I mentioned earlier that may have given him a chance. Ooh, there's an Enhanced Hammer on to the Keldeo EX. So it's going to take away that Blend Energy. And now the Junk Hunt for Enhanced Hammer can begin. Now, the important card we have left for Alex is Tool Scrapper. I don't think he's played it yet. He does play 1. I know that for sure. So if he can get just that Tool Scrapper, and then he just needs a catcher for the Deoxys, or a catcher for the Darkrai that already has 150 on it, or a way to use Frost Spear, and he can win. He'll be able to rush in and retreat with Keldeo and win. Float Stone would allow him to retreat his Deoxys. And there's the Skyla. Can he pull it off this turn? He's got a switch, folks. And is Alex Brosseau going to take this first game? Is Chuck back? Is this the beginning of the comeback for Big Chuck 01? And that is it. We have a 6-0 victory for Alex in the first game. Wow, what a strong opening game from him. Of course, Dustin had a very bad start that game. And Alex really didn't miss a beat. He just kind of kept putting the pressure on over and over and over. And eventually, Dustin kind of crumbled. And the result is a 1-0 lead for Alex. Very impressive game from Alex. Gotta say, he played that very well. The Scramble Switch was such a huge card there. Wow. If that was anything else, I don't know if he could have pulled that game off. But Scramble Switch, of course, everybody knows. This is an extremely powerful card. Everybody knows Scramble Switch can change games. It can win games. But it's just how often do you actually get the opportunity to use it? This is what most players kind of realize. It's how often does Scramble Switch actually work? Would I rather just have, a computer search most of the time? The answer is yes. But those times when Scramble Switch works, it is the one card that would bail you out of a situation that no other card would. And we just saw the power of it right now. And I realize my microphone might be going crazy. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that right now. I'd have to restart the program to fix that. So I guess you guys have to bear with it. And then after this round, I'll have to restart the stream. So until then, you're going to have to deal with, I'm sure, a same problem that has plagued us for a while, which is the crackling microphone. But I am aware of it. I just can't do anything about it yet. Alright, so game number 2 here between Alex Brosseau and Dustin Zimmerman. You know, going into this, I thought Dustin was the favorite. Now I don't know. We'll see what happens if he gets a better hand here. But Alex definitely dominated that first game, and we do have a mulligan from Dustin for the start of game 2. Now, I did lose game 1, so he can choose who goes first in the second game. I am pretty sure he's going to go first. Going first gives you every advantage we have on the game. You get to play everything first. You get to draw a card first. You get to put down your basics first. You go first. So yeah, going first is good. And now we have a Darkrai versus an Absol. Funny thing about Absol, even though it's a dark type, these days it's seeing more play in the Plasma deck than it is in Darkrai decks. Alright. We do have an Ultra Ball, and once again, Dustin opting to discard that Life Dew turn 1, saying, you know what, I like having Silver Mirror on my Sableye better than Life Dew, because you can't even knock out my Sableye if I have Silver Mirror. Whereas with Life Dew, he can knock out the Sableye still. Won't take a prize, though. So that's an interesting choice. You know, what's better, not being able to get hit by Team Plasma Pokemon, or not giving up a prize when you do get hit by them? It's actually a very difficult decision to make. I don't know which one's better. Maybe not giving up the prize is a little better, because then you can't be knocked out by Hypnotoxic Laser. I don't know. Alright. So we do see an end. Both players will shuffle in and draw 6. And looks like we already have the Float Stone on the Darkrai, so we're going to see a Junk Hunt this turn. And wow, turn 1, Silver Mirror. Much better game for Dustin this time. And a Hypnotoxic Laser. This is about as perfect of a start as he could have hoped for. He has a Trubbish down, a Silver Mirror down, and he's going to be able to Junk Out with Sableye for the Life Dew and the Catcher. Wow. How does Alex respond to this? Really, how does he respond to this? This is just an intimidating start. What do you do against this? Dustin definitely pulls out to a big lead in this game. Just that turn 1 on its own. You know, it's weird. It didn't do any damage, really. It did 10 from the Hypnotoxic Laser. But just the setup it provided. The Trubbish, he can get Garbodor next turn. The Silver Mirror on the Sableye, the Laser. This is pretty much what he would hope for on turn 1. You know, unless he could get an extremely unlikely turn 1 Night Spear. This is about as good as it gets for Dustin. Alright, so we do see Alex play a Team Plasma Ball for that Kyurem. He has a Thundurus and a Deoxys on the bench. Now, the magic number of Deoxys you want against this kind of a deck is actually just 1. You want 1 in play to get that power connect so that your Thundurus EX does 40 instead of 30, and then you can play Hypnotoxic Laser and then knock out a Sableye in 1 hit. So you only need 1 Deoxys, otherwise it's a liability. It can be Catchered. It does have a 2 retreat cost. It can get stuck in the active spot. Oh well. You just kind of hope that doesn't happen. We'll see what Alex is going for here. He's probably fishing for a Catcher, I would think. He cannot damage the Sableye. It does have the Silver Mirror, preventing Team Plasma Pokemon from hurting it. I guess Alex would go for a Raid Knuckle anyway if he doesn't have a Catcher. Just get an extra energy in play. So you'll have 1 on the Thundurus, and then you can put 1 on a bench Pokemon. He does have that Plasma Energy in the discard pile. And looks like he is going to bench a second Deoxys. I don't think there's any real need for that, but he's going to put it down and probably say, all right, I'll need this in the future, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it down. So we do see him put the Plasma Energy on to Kyurem. And we're going to see an Ultra Ball from Dustin, and there is the big bad Garbodor. So once that tool gets onto the Garbodor, it's going to have Garbotoxin, which shuts off all abilities for everybody. And alright, there is the Float Stone, so no more abilities for Alex, no more Power Connect on Deoxys. And here begins the slow grind. Deoxys comes out, Juniper for 7. Are we going to see an Enhanced Hammer this turn? Honestly, if you see an Enhanced Hammer this turn, you got to wonder if you can actually win this game if you're Alex. Sableye is going to already start to junk hunt for some Enhanced Hammers. There's a Silver Mirror on the Sableye. Can't even knock it out. Ugh, that would just be brutal. But if he doesn't have it, there's a second Silver Mirror Sableye. Oh, man. Look at those tools on the field for Dustin. As he does get a heads on the Hypnotoxic Lisa. Look at those tools. Or maybe those are tails, I couldn't tell. Oh well. Silver Mirror, Life Dew. I mean, what are you supposed to do about this? What? Alright, I guess he's asleep. Even if you have a Tool Scrapper, which tools do you discard there? You discard the 2 Silver Mirrors? Discard a Silver Mirror and a Life Dew? Pretty much no matter what you do, there's one tool in play that still devastates you. The Life Dew wouldn't give up a prize. Silver Mirror can't get hit by the Plasma Pokemon. This is brutal. You can see Dustin definitely tailored his deck to beat these Team Plasma decks. And why wouldn't you? Plasma decks have been by far the most popular decks since they've been released in Plasma Freeze. Arguably the strongest deck as well. So why wouldn't you just try to counter what has been, statistically, the best deck we have? And Alex is trying to come to a decision here. Oh, looks like he has a Scramble Switch in hand that he really does not want to use here. And he may have a Juniper as well. And he's just trying to think, can I do something with the Scramble Switch before I have to use it? And this is where Scramble Switch becomes a mediocre card. It does provide him some options, which is really cool. He's going to be able to maybe Blizzard Burn this turn, but what does he even go after? If he has a catcher, what does he do? So Scramble Switch coming in play here. He's getting some utility out of it. 2 games in a row. Oh, he has Tool Scrapper. Okay, so he's going to Tool Scrapper and discard the Silver Mirror. And what else is he going to go for? This is actually a very tough decision. This is where you wish you could just discard all their tools. But you can only discard 2. And Alex is actually going to go for 2 Silver Mirrors. I actually think that's the right thing to do here. This is honestly a game against Sableyes. If you can just keep knocking out Sableyes, you're going to win. Now, unfortunately, the Life Dew Sableye is just there forever now. He's only 1 Tool Scrapper in his deck. So the Life Dew, that Sableye is just always going to be, it's always going to be free rolling. Even if it gets knocked out, it doesn't give up a prize. So it was kind of a pick your poison thing there. I think Alex made the best of the situation. Got rid of the Silver Mirror Sableye. Or got rid of the Silver Mirrors on both Sableyes. So now that he can at least knock them out. Still going to be an extreme uphill battle. Okay, so we do see a Chorus Machine from Alex. Wonder where this is going to go. It might go on to Absol. Looks like it's going to go on to Deoxys, though. Could be like a preventative measure in case of a catcher. Yep, it's going to go on Absol, though. That'll give him another attacking option. Mind Jack is actually going to be good against Sableye here. There are enough bench Pokemon where that will matter. And now I think we'll probably see a Blizzard Burn from Alex to knock out the Sableye. And that's exactly what we're going to see. So Alex will take the first prize here again. However, this time, Dustin definitely has some tools to respond to the situation. And yep, he's going to Dark Patch right onto the Sableye with the Life Dew. Energy Search. Grab another Dark Energy. And Enhance Hammer is really what he's going to need here soon. But, you know, at the very least, he can junk hunt for Silver Mirror on the next Sableye. Oh, here's a Skyla. This will be very telling. What is he going to grab with this? Could be any trainer. And it's going to be a Juniper. Whoa, okay. So that's very telling. He does not have another supporter in his hand. So there's Juniper. He's going to take that for the next turn. Can only play one supporter per turn. So there's a Hypno-Toxic Laser. Heads. That'll put Kyurem to sleep. Now the big difference in this game is... Alright, Dustin's going to Junk Hunt for Silver Mirror probably. The big difference here, Alex has already used that Scramble switch. So that means there is no play now where he can make and just get that Keldeo powered up out of nowhere to knock out that Sableye. For the rest of this game, that Sableye is just going to be immune to pretty much any Team Plasma Pokemon's attacks. There's nothing else can do about it anymore. What is he supposed to do here? He could start manually powering up a Keldeo. That doesn't seem like a great option. Something interesting he could do here is if he had a catcher, he could consider catchering the Sableye. And if he could knock out the Sableye, that is the only one that can actually take the Silver Mirror right now. So Dustin would not have a way to really attach it to his Sableye this turn. And he would have to Juniper it away. It's an interesting choice. We do see a Skyla here. Looks like it's going to be first switch. Since the Kyurem, used Blizzard Burn last turn, he won't be able to attack with the Kyurem, and he's asleep, just to make matters worse. So Alex is going to grab the switch. And I feel like this game, Alex just won't do enough damage before Dustin starts whittling away with all of his items. This game, he's burned a couple switches, he's burned the Scramble switch, he's burned the Tool Scrapper, and Dustin's deck, all it does is just try to run his opponent out of resources until finally he can, just kind of come in with Night Spear at the end with Darkrai. And this game, the plan definitely worked. The first game, it didn't work so well. Alex just got off to such a super fast start. And Alex is actually going to catch her the Darkrai here. Puts down the Verbank City Gym. He's already played Skyla. And he's going to go for Hypnotoxic Laser. Looks like he's just trying to take as many prizes as possible. And, ooh, heads on the Hypnotoxic Laser could be very, very big. If that Darkrai stays asleep, Dustin could be in some trouble. We're going to see a Blizzard Burn. Does he have the Silver Bangle to go with it? Looks like, nope, just a Blizzard Burn. It'll be for 150 total. But Dustin does wake up. Alright. So that Darkrai will be able to retreat freely. There is 150 on a Darkrai for the rest of the game, though. I don't think Dustin plays Max Potion. So, I don't think that'll ever get healed off. So there are just two prizes looming on the board to a Frost Spear or a catcher at any point in the game. Are those two prizes going to matter, though? I don't know. Let's take a look at what's out there now. We have Darkrai. That's going to be two prizes. At some point, we assume that Garbodor could be a prize, that Trubbish could be a prize. Sableye with the Life Dew, not going to be a prize. No Tool Scrapper left. Sableye with the Silver Mirror, probably not going to be a prize. Can't be hit by Team Plasma Pokemon. So you can see, what is Alex really supposed to do in this kind of a situation? The Deoxys also got catchered back out, so this is just going to be a slow process of, double enhanced hammer. Alright, maybe the process won't be so slow anymore. Wow. 2 energy just gone off of Alex's field immediately. Double enhanced hammer. And now Dustin can just junk hunt for those enhanced hammers, and Alex, he had 4 energy in play on that turn. Now he's down to 2. Next turn he could be down to 0. Now we have a junk hunt here for an enhanced hammer. And what's the next card going to be? A Hypnotoxic Laser. Alex here, he's got to realize at this point he is in horrendous shape. There is not much he can do at this point to win. He runs all special energy. And honestly, this might be a situation where you just like look at it and you're like, this is too much of a headache to even play. I can't do anything. I might just scoop. And we'll move on to game 3. That's how bad this looks for him right now. Now, if there's anybody who's ever going to pull out a win, it's going to be Alex. I've seen this guy come back from the stupidest situations I've ever seen before. 6-1 comebacks are a regularity for this guy. So I would not be surprised if he found some way to come back from this. But it's pretty unlikely. We do have an Ultra Ball right now. Let's see what he searches for. Looks like another Kyurem. So, he's going to get that other Kyurem in play. I'm not sure how much it's actually going to do. Boy, what's he actually going to do from here? I guess he just wanted to thin out his deck. He's going to play Chorus for 9 cards. All right, so the Ultra Ball was just to draw more cards here. He did discard a Plasma Energy with the Ultra Ball, though. Maybe costly. On the other hand, Plasma Energy isn't too important at this point. He really just needs Color Energy. He needs Blend or Prism to provide attack costs. So, man, this. Even though Alex has the prize lead here, 5-6. This game is definitely in Dustin's favor. Now, there are some things Alex could do here to get some lucky breaks. For example, that laser in his hand is one of them. If he can catch Dustin and get a laser, heads, put him to sleep, tails, he stays asleep, he can maybe get a cheap knockout. But it looks like Alex is going to go ahead and catch her out the Darkrai. And is he going to have an attack this turn? No, he's actually going to laser the Darkrai, which would actually knock it out. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Okay. So there we go. That's important to keep in mind. This is a 75-minute time limit for best 2 out of 3. So these games are sure to play out. The first one really didn't take that long. See, we have plenty of time to finish this series out. No time limits are going to be an issue here. And all right, we're going to have the Hypnotoxic Laser pass for a knockout. Poison damage is going to take down that Darkrai EX. Alex is going to run 3 prizes here. But can he get his last 3? Doesn't seem like it. There's an Enhanced Hammer, discarding the Plasma Energy. That'll go to the discard pile. A Hypnotoxic Laser on the Deoxys. That'll be poisoned. It was also, yeah. There's an N. What is Alex's strategy from here on out? I'm trying to think of something. I can't think of anything. The only thing I could think of is hope that Dustin's Super Rod is prized and that he cannot get cards back into his deck and potentially deck him out. That is the only thing I can think of right now. We're going to see a junk hunt from Dustin. Going to grab that Enhanced Hammer from the discard pile. More energy is going to be discarded. And what else is he going to get back? Can't remember if he played Super Rod this game. Alright, looks like he's getting a Dark Patch and an Enhanced Hammer. Yeah, Super Rod's at the top of the discard. So, decking out, not even a strategy. And if that's not an out, I don't think there is one. To put it bluntly. I don't know what Alex can do in this game. He's just kind of locked down by the Silver Mirror, the Enhanced Hammers, the everything. What's a guy to do in this situation? It looks like he just passed his turn. So apparently that's what the guy's to do in this situation. There's another Enhanced Hammer. And now Alex officially has 0 energy in play. Gonna see a random receiver. And Dustin's gonna reveal a Skyla. He's gonna go ahead and play it. See what he takes here. Can grab any trainer with this. Could take a Dark Patch. Could start the Night Spear this turn. And it looks like he is going to take that Dark Patch. This is where Darkrai can just swoop in and win. You have effectively eliminated every energy on your opponent's field. He has exhausted all sorts of resources. Now, you can just come in and Night Spear and take 6 uncontested prizes. That's pretty much what this comes down to. Dustin, though, he's actually just going to sit back. He's going to take his time. He's going to say, you know what, I could just go with Darkrai, but there's a potential for things to go wrong if I do that. I'm just going to lock this game up 100%. Sit back, Junk Hunt, get back Enhanced Hammer, and when I'm good and ready, I'll Night Spear. And when I do, I'll make sure that there is absolutely no possible way for you to beat me. So a very patient style for Dustin. It looks like Alex has passed again. So Alex is just going to kind of play this one out. It probably favors him to have a low amount of time in the third game. Since his deck is faster, it'll take prizes early on. Dustin is very slow. You know, it takes time for a strategy to develop. So Alex, you know, it doesn't hurt him at all to just play this game out. It might hurt him mentally to just be like, pass, 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 pass. But other than that, it's all upside to playing the game out. Why not? So what's Dustin going to do this turn? It looks like he does have a Super Rod back in his hand. No, it's actually Alex's turn. These turns are going by without me really seeing what's going on. So it looks like we're going to pass, and that Deoxys finally gets knocked out from the poison damage from that laser that was played all those turns ago. Now Alex will promote the Deoxys EX with the Float Stone. Since it has a free retreat, he can just free retreat if it does get hit by a laser. We're going to see a Super Rod, and like I said, with the Super Rod, there's no way Dustin can deck out. Going to shuffle in 3 Pokemon, it looked like. And will this be the turn we see Night Spear, or will we just see another Junk Hunt? That's going to be the question for the turn. Will we actually see an attack for damage this turn for the first time out of Dustin, or will we just see another Junk Hunt for 2 more item cards? Looks like he may have a catcher that he's contemplating. He could, like, catcher out the Thunderous EX, but then if he does that, he just kind of gives a free Raiden Knuckle. I don't know. He's got all sorts of options here. All of them are probably good ones. Oh, an N. That was not what I expected. So he's going to shuffle in and he's going to draw 4. I'm not exactly sure what he's digging for here. It seems like pretty much everything he could want was either in his hand or in his discard pile. So this, he's got to be either digging for something or trying to disrupt Alex. But Alex really didn't have anything. You know, he hasn't done anything for the past however many turns. Maybe he was just suspicious and thought that Alex was just kind of sitting on something in his hand and he just wanted to end the hand away. I'm not sure. But we are going to see Night Spear. And Thunderous EX will get hit for the 30 damage from Night Spear. We're going to see 90 to the active. So that'll be 120 on the Deoxys now. 30 on the Thunderous. Now Alex does draw that Blend energy. So he could retreat into Thunderous this turn. And then Raiden Knuckle. Problem with that, of course. Then he kind of sets himself up to be Night Speared for 4 prizes eventually. The damage will be spread out so that after another Night Spear, it'll be 120 on Thunderous, 150 on Deoxys. Then it's just 1 more Night Spear, and the game ends with a 4-prize turn. So Alex is trying to figure out any way to give himself a shot in this game. And he's going to play an N after attaching the Blend Energy to Thunderous EX. So once again, both players will shuffle in. Alex will draw 3. Dustin will draw 4 cards. And you gotta wonder what Alex would actually be going for here. If you could pick a card, what would you want him to draw here? I think first thing that comes to mind is a Hypnotoxic Laser. Maybe he could trap that Darkrai active and get really lucky. Get a heads on a sleep flip. And then tails for Dustin when he stays asleep. That is an option. But, and Alex is just going to take a look at Dustin's discard pile here. Take a look, see how much he's gone through. See if there's any possible way he can maybe steal a victory here. Maybe something like Catcher on Trubbish, since it's a 2 retreat cost. And wow, that's exactly what he does. So he's going to Catcher on the Trubbish. And maybe just try to buy himself a turn of time here. He did end Dustin down to 4 cards. So maybe Dustin won't have anything. He's going to raid a Knuckle for 30. Put the energy onto the Kyurem, and Dustin's going to need a Float Stone or a Switch this turn. Otherwise, that Trubbish is stuck active. We do see a double Hypnotoxic Laser. That one gets a heads, and then a Juniper. So will he draw a Float Stone or a Switch? Another option is he could Tool Scrapper away his own Float Stone on the Garbodor and then retreat by attaching a Darkness energy to the Trubbish. But he got the Float Stone. And looks like every door that Alex keeps trying to open gets slammed in his face by Dustin. And yep, there's an Enhanced Hammer. And boy, this game's probably going to be over next turn, I would think. Certainly seems like that. So we're going to see Trubbish retreat into the Darkrai. And we're going to see Night Spear. Now it'll be 150 on both Thunderous EX and Deoxys EX. Actually, he's going to go after Kyurem. I'm not sure why he's going for Kyurem instead of just trying to, you know, take down the Deoxys with one last Night Spear for the game. I guess it doesn't matter. He's going to need a Catcher regardless, I guess. I'm not sure. These games can get very complicated. I'm just trying to think of ways that Alex could go about this. Definitely Dustin is in firm control of this game. I don't think anybody can argue that one. Is there some ace in the hole that Alex has this game? Hey, it was the Scramble Switch in the first game. I don't know if I'll have another one this game. We do see a Skyla. Alright, we're going to see if there's any more tricks in his deck here. Maybe a card like Max Potion could buy him some time. Alright, he's going to go for the Hail Mary here, I think. Hypnotoxic Laser. How often have we seen this one, folks? We just need a heads and a tails, and we need him to stay asleep, baby. That is the strategy for Alex right now. And the flip is heads. Okay. He's still alive. There is life for Alex yet in this game, perhaps. And will he retreat, or will he raid a Knuckle and then let the Kyurem die? Looks like he is going to retreat into a Kyurem. And this may be like a tactical thing from Alex. He may just be trying to use as much time as possible in this game so that there's less time in Game 3 for Dustin to win. You know, time limits are an unfortunate part of Pokemon, but when you're playing in tournaments, they are crucial. And oh, never mind, we got a Catcher and a Night Spear, and Dustin's Darkrai wakes up and takes his final 4 prizes in that one attack. And Dustin Zimmerman ties this series up 1-1, and we'll have one final game to decide the winner here in round number 2 of the Klaczynski Open. It will be 7 rounds of Swiss. I think that was the official announcement. They keep flip-flopping between 7 and 8 rounds. I don't know for sure. Initial impression is that we'll have 7 rounds, and we'll have cut to a top 8 tomorrow. Best 2 out of 3 for Swiss. That game was, I mean, prize-wise, it was close. Board-wise, we could see that Dustin was going to win that one from a mile away. There were some brief moments where, it looked like Alex may have a chance to make some sort of a comeback. But overall, Dustin was in pretty firm control that entire game. Now, as we shuffle up here for Game 3, Alex will be going first in this one. So that's going to be nice for him. Otherwise, I don't know. He's really got to put the pressure on this game. He really needs to kind of go for those quick attacks, knock out those Sableyes early on, and see if he can just kind of overwhelm Dustin before he gets those Silver Mirrors, those Enhanced Hammers, all that stuff that can slow Alex down. So both players will continue to shuffle until the decks are randomized, and then they'll start here with game number 3. Now, I'd still say Dustin is heavily favored in this matchup. Just seems like it with all the anti-plasma cards he has in his deck. But, Alex could definitely steal a win. He did steal the first game, basically. That scramble switch into Keldeo was just the game-breaking play. There's always that opportunity for him to do it, and there's always an opportunity as well for a first-turn win. Those 70 HP Pokemon, Sableye and Trubbish. You never know. Alex could actually get a turn 1 win if Dustin starts with a lone Sableye or something, but that option is taken away immediately as he starts with 2 Pokemon. All right. Never mind. And for game number 3, let's see how this one goes. All right, looks like Alex is a Kyurem against a Sableye and a Trubbish. Pretty good start for Alex. Now, what will Alex do here? If he can get a turn 1 Frost Spear, that would be huge. Especially if he could do a turn 1 knockout on a Sableye. That would be the best option. We do have a Chorus Machine, turn 1. That's going to put the Plasma Energy onto the Kyurem. Does he have the energy to go with it for a turn 1 Frost Spear? Now, if he can get the turn 1 Frost Spear, Verbank, Hypnotoxic Laser, and a Deoxys EX in play, he can hit that 70 damage turn 1 to knock out Sableye and put 30 on to the Trubbish. So that's what he's going to be hoping for here. If he can pull all that off, he'll be in incredible shape. If not, even a Frost Spear is a strong start turn 1, definitely. So a Frost Spear turn 1 is one of the best starts you can have, but oh, no supporter for Alex. That's pretty brutal. And no laser either. Dustin is going to start off with a Float Zone on his Trubbish and a Dark on his Sableye. And an Ultra Ball. Discarded 2 Verbank City Gym. Wow. That's crazy. Normally you want that in play for your lasers, but he probably realizes, this actually doesn't help me as much as it helps Alex, so I don't even want to put that in play. Alex's lasers need to do 30 damage to hit those crucial damage marks. To hit the Sableye for a 1-hit knockout. To hit my Darkrai for an extra 30 for a knockout. And if I don't give him the Verbank City Gym, there's just a good chance he'll never have it. And then his Hypnotoxic Lasers become much, much weaker. And then maybe I'll survive long enough to just kind of hammer him out of the game. So we do see a Juniper from Dustin. A very strong start. Double Trubbish. We got some double trouble turn 1. Got a Sableye. Will he have a Silver Mirror to prevent attacking, though? Nobody has a Hypnotoxic Laser. Uh-oh, heads on the laser. Is Alex going to stay asleep? Got a junk out. Here's the big flip. And heads. All right, he does wake up. He's going to take 10 damage from the poison, but he does wake up. That is a big deal there. Dustin, he's threatening a Garbodor next turn with that Ultra Ball on the junk cut, and also another Hypnotoxic Laser. Beyond that, though, he does not have anything really threatening in play. The Keldeo EX is going to come down for Chuck. If he has the Float Stone as well, he can just rush in and retreat for this turn. I think he's trying to look. Do I want to catch for anything here? He's got a laser in his hand. Could maybe catch or Trubbish, laser. And then stop Garbotoxin. And it looks like he actually is going for this. He's going to catch her, laser the Trubbish, and try to take it out here. I'm not sure how much I like this. He is going to take out the Trubbish with the Float Stone. Ooh, a Chorus for 4. Now, this is interesting. He may have done that just to improve his odds of drawing a supporter off of this Chorus for 4. You know, take out some of those cards that you... I mean, those are very worthwhile resources, but take out some of the cards that are not supporters so that maybe you can draw some here. Let's see, if he got a Float Stone, he could rush in and retreat, take away the poison. And, oh, he's going to bench a Deoxys here. I guess it doesn't hurt too much here because you already have the Keldeo down there. You already got a 2-retreater in play, so why not? And we do have a Frost Spear, 30 to the Sableye. Knockout on the Trubbish. Alex will take the first prize in this third game. Can Dustin get a tool on his Garbodor this turn? He does have the Garbodor in hand already. He'll need a Float Stone or a Silver Mirror or a Life Dew on the Garbodor. Don't see Life Dew on Garbodor too often, but we could see it, I guess. Now we have another Ultra Ball. What's he going to grab this turn? He's already got an Absol down. He's got a Sableye down. He grabbed a third Sableye with that Ultra Ball instead of using a Dark Patch. So I wonder what he has in his hand to go for this kind of a play. Looks like a laser again. And, alright, he's got another Dark Patch. Go ahead and power up that Absol and then Juniper. Now, one effective strategy in this matchup is to just kind of wipe out the attacker that has all the energy. And, oh, there's the Float Stone on that Garbodor. That could be huge. We do see Kyurem is asleep once again from the Hypnotoxic Laser. So maybe he won't wake up, and if that's the case, Garbotoxin could shut off the Keldeo, rush in and retreat. Something Alex has to be wary of is Absol's Mind Jack. Can't bench too many Pokemon or else Mind Jack could get him. There's already 10 on the Kyurem. One thing he knows, though, is that Dustin discarded 2 Verbank City Gym. So there's no threat of a 30 damage Hypnotoxic Laser. It's only going to do 10. So Absol is actually limited in how much damage it can really do. It can, I mean, it's hitting for 60 right now, which isn't great. It may add up as a knockout if Alex puts a Verbank in play, and, oh, brutal flip. The Kyurem stays asleep. Oh, no. But, you know, he just drew a switch, so might not be all bad. Alright, so how is Alex going to go about this turn? There are no Silver Mirrors in play, which has been very good for him. There have been no Enhanced Hammers either. Both these things have been great for him. If he could get a Thundurus down this turn, and maybe a Raid Knuckle, Sableye, get a knockout, keep putting pressure on, he could certainly win the game. You know, at least put himself in a better position to win. That Hypnotoxic Laser flip was so painful for him, though. He's going to catch her out the Garbodor. He really doesn't like that. He wants to take it out of play. He's going to play a Scramble Switch into Absol. Uh-oh. We're going to have a Mind Jack knockout on Garbodor. I'm not sure how much I like this strategy from Alex, saying, you know what? I'm just going to take away Garbodor. I think if I use my abilities, I win. That seems to be what he's thinking here. I think a lot of players would just kind of take out Sableyes and say, you know what, if I can just keep knocking out Sableyes, stop Junk Hunt, I can win. But, you know, he also may have looked at this and said, look, he has 3 Sableye on board. I'm probably not going to run him out of Sableye. Let's go for a big play, take out the Garbodor. Now I get my abilities back. I get Deoxys back. I get Keldeo. I can rush in and retreat out of these Hypnotoxic lasers. I could do more damage now that I have Deoxys. Now my Thundurus becomes a better attacker. My Absol becomes a better attacker. Kyurem does more damage as well. So taking this Garbodor out of play could actually be a very big deal. And maybe Alex has kind of assessed the situation and said, I think if I knock out Garbodor, I can take 4 more prizes. I think I can do that. And we'll have to see. We have not seen a Silver Mirror from him yet. We have not seen a Life Dew from Dustin yet either. We have not seen an Enhanced Hammer either. And he's actually going to catch her out Keldeo this turn. What is going to be his plan of attack? There is an N. That's usually a good plan of attack. Disrupt your opponent. Put Alex down to 4 cards. Dustin will be at 6. But what else is he going to do? If you're Dustin, what are you looking to draw off of this N? Well, probably one of the 3 cards that I just mentioned. Number 1, Silver Mirror. Number 2, Enhanced Hammer to start discarding energy from Alex's field. Number 3 is Life Dew. If I can't have a Silver Mirror, I at least want Life Dew. So these 6 cards could be very crucial in determining the tempo of this game. I think Enhanced Hammer might actually be the biggest one of all. Slow down the energy. Slow down Alex's options from here on out. That's going to be the way you're going to have to win. And looks like, again, Dustin has drawn none of these cards. Wow. No hammers, no mirrors, no Life Dew. And we're just going to have a junk hunt once again. And the catcher on the Keldeo, he's just going to say, all right, well, I hope you have a float stone. Otherwise, well, you're stuck. Or a switch, I guess. So that's going to be the big question. Does Alex have a float stone? Wow, he does. Okay, so that answers my question. We have the float stone on Keldeo. I'm sure Dustin was not happy to see that. Now, does he have an energy to go with it? I'm sure he would like to Frost Spear this turn. Just retreat, Frost Spear, and then do 30 to either Absol or maybe a Sableye. You might actually do Sableye here. Looks like Alex is faced with an extremely difficult decision. He has a Tool Scrapper in hand that he does not want to discard. And he also has a Professor Juniper. That's what it looks like to me. So he's probably looking at it and saying, I could Juniper and then try to get another energy, but then I lose my Tool Scrapper. And I probably need that Tool Scrapper to knock out a Sableye with the Silver Mirror at some point. So I need to just hold on to this hand. I'm going to accept the fact that I cannot take or get another energy attachment this turn. I'm opening myself up to Enhanced Hammer here. But I cannot Juniper away this Tool Scrapper. I just can't do it. Now where does Dustin go on this turn? He promotes the Absol. So it seems like he may abandon the Sableye strategy here and start attacking. He may think, gosh, I've just gotten so far behind in this game. What can I do here? How do I go about this now? If I keep junk hunting, I may just get overwhelmed and lose. I mean, look at the situation. If he ever benches a Darkrai EX at this point, that's just a 2-prize liability at this point. That can just eventually be catchered and knocked out, and Alex can win the game just by knocking out a Darkrai if it ever comes down. So this is a scary situation. We're going to have to see every trick in Dustin's book if he wants to pull this game off. He's going to need the Life Dew. He's going to need the Silver Mirror. He's going to need his Enhanced Hammers. He's going to need them immediately. And there's another N. Dustin's going to shuffle in and draw 6. And Alex, he might be okay with that N because the Tool Scrapper was sitting in his hand, I think. He didn't want to discard it with Juniper, so he's probably like, all right, good. You know, going on to 3 cards, that's not good. But I may not be in a situation where I'm forced to prematurely discard my Tool Scrapper because I need to save that for those tools that are so important for Dustin. Now, what does Dustin draw off of this? Plays a Catcher and a Laser. He's trying to stick the Keldeo active. Gets Tails. Wow. He went for a very risky move there. That was a very big desperation play. I'm not sure if he should have done that. He might have just been better off going for the Mind Jack there if he's going to do that. But it looks like he is abandoning Absol, and he's got a Junk Hunt again. Man, Dustin is just not drawing the cards he needs this game. He's playing N after N after N and supporter after supporter, and just not drawing the correct cards here. And it looks like he's going to Junk Hunt for 2 more items here. Get a laser and a catcher. He's going to try to stick that Keldeo. Keep it asleep. Now Alex, he can just retreat to Absol and Mind Jack for the knockout. It'll be 60 plus 10 for Deoxys EX's Power Connect. So he has that option available. And if he can get an energy drop this turn, he's going to be in such a good position to win this game. And it looks like he does. He gets the Plasma Energy onto his Kyurem. And looks like he's going to retreat into his Absol and Mind Jack again. The only thing he has to be wary of is do not bench another Pokemon here, or else Mind Jack from Dustin will do 100 damage. Alex is well aware of this. Now, Alex down to 2 prizes. Dustin has 6. Can Alex close the deal here? Take home this game. This is going to be a close one. We do have another catcher. Dustin keeps going for this strategy. Is it ever going to pay off? No, another Tails on the Hypnotoxic Laser. We have a Juniper for 7 cards here. Can he hit that Enhanced Hammer yet? And Dustin just going, what is with this hand? I cannot draw anything. Gets a Super Rod here. Now I did see one important card in his hand, and that is a Tool Scrapper. That can get rid of the Float Stone on the Keldeo EX. That can be very important, actually. Stop that Keldeo from retreating, and then maybe you'll have a chance to, you know, buy some turns here. Buy yourself some time. And maybe, just maybe, yep, there's a Tool Scrapper. Maybe you can buy enough time to start drawing those hammers, those mirrors, and whatever else you're going to need. So we do see Dustin retreat the Absol for free with the Float Stone, and then we're going to see another Junk Hunt, getting back a Tool Scrapper. And what else is he going to take here? An Ultra Ball. So he did Super Rod the Trubbish and Garbodor. 2 Trubbish and a Garbodor back into his deck. So he's going to have that available to him again. Maybe he's thinking, if I can get Garbodor out one more time, lock Alex out of the game. This is still a very real possibility. The prizes are 2 to 6. But this game is far from over. There are so many things that can go well for Dustin still. Alex, he's going to do everything he can to close out this game. It's not going to be easy. And it doesn't look like his hand is cooperating either. He is attaching a Blend Energy to the Keldeo EX. And that Tool Scrapper, that bought Dustin an extremely crucial turn. Boy, this is going to be huge. There is the Skyla. What is Dustin going to take here? Enhanced Hammer. Discard the blend off of the active Keldeo EX. And now we may see the slow process of Dustin beginning to make one of the biggest comebacks ever. We have a random receiver. It's going to flip over a Skyla for next turn. And we also have a Darkrai in play now. And we're also going to see an Ultra Ball. Probably see a Trubbish off of that. And indeed we do. And now it is crucial, absolutely crucial, for Alex to try to top deck out of this. He needs a switch. He needs a Float Stone. He needs something this turn to get that Keldeo out of the active. Go to his Absol, Mind Jack the Sableye, go down to 1 prize, put on some pressure here. And what does he draw? He draws a Hypnotoxic Laser. That might not be so bad here. He's going to go ahead and take a look at what Dustin has left, rather what he's gone through so far. Sometimes, you know, even though your opponent has Junk Hunt, you can catch him in a spot where he's used all 4 catchers or all 4 of something. And you can see, all right, you don't have this turn. And no, Alex is going to pass again. Oh man, this is going to be a brutal loss for Alex if this keeps going this way. He's got opportunities to win still. He's got a lot of resources. He's got a lot of stuff left. But, you know, a couple more turns of this enhanced hammer. Oh, the double enhanced hammer. And that is the brutal turn. That is what every Plasma player dreads. 2 enhanced hammers in 1 turn. 2 energy just hit the discard pile. And then a junk hunt from Sableye getting back an enhanced hammer. And a random receiver. And doesn't put out a 3rd Verbank City Gym? Does he play 3? I thought he discarded 2 early on. Maybe I'm thinking incorrectly. But we do the Verbank City Gym out there now. And that poison damage is going to rack up. And Alex, he's just in a world of hurt right now. He needs something to go his way here. Now he does have a catcher in his hand. He does have a laser in his hand. So he could go for like a catcher and a laser on the Darkrai. And maybe if that stays asleep, he could get lucky. Oh, he got a switch actually. Okay, that's actually a big deal. Alright, so he's going to switch into Absol. Actually, wow, he finally drew a switch. He can switch into Kyurem. I like this play. Oh man, this is going to be very close down the stretch here. I see a switch, and he also has a laser. Alright, so what he can do is go ahead and attach that prism. He can laser, and then Frost Spear. He'll get the knockout on the Sableye. And then he can also put 30 somewhere else. And he just has to knock out one more Pokemon after this. And he can win the game. This will be a 6-1 situation here. Can Alex close this series out? It'll be 2-0 here at the Klaczynski Open. Or will Dustin Zimmerman make a 6-1 comeback in this game? I don't know, guys. This is going to be an extremely close finish. Dustin promotes the Absol with the float stone on it. We see a random receiver for an N. Oh, that's the last card Alex wanted to see off of that random receiver. There's an enhanced hammer. Going to discard the prism energy. We have a silver mirror going on Trubbish. Looks like Dustin's going to rethink that one. Looks like it's going to go on Sableye instead. I do like that better. And here's the N. Alex will shuffle in and draw 1. Dustin will shuffle in and draw 6. Gosh, who is going to come out on top in this game? This is extremely close. Anybody's game here still. Alex's deck is so big. There are so many dead cards he could just draw into off this N, and he needs to start drawing resources. Dustin will start Night Spearing soon. And there's a Garbodor. Oh, and a Float Stone. He gets both off of that N, but his deck is fairly small at this point, so that it shouldn't be too surprising. We have the catcher onto the Keldeo EX, and then a laser. And it's a Tails on the laser. And it looks like he's gonna Mind Jack. Yep, alright, Absol is going to Mind Jack for the knockout. Dustin will take his first 2 prizes. I think he realizes the urgency of this situation. He realizes, boy, I need to start taking prizes because time is a factor. And now Alex, oh my goodness. If he gets a Prism Energy, he wins the game. Does he get the Prism? His hand is 2 ends. Oh my goodness. Not cards you want to see here, but at least they're live cards in time. Time has just been called, folks. So we are in +3 turns here. Alex is turn 0. Now, not only can Alex win the game off of here, he can win this game with a Prism Energy right here. I don't think he got it. Alright, so he won't win the game here, but now Dustin has to take 3 prizes in 2 turns in order to win this game. Time is a factor here. Time is going to decide this game. And I think Alex, just that one last prize he took, might be the one he needed to survive in this game and continue in this tournament to be 2-0. I'm not seeing a way for Dustin to really take 3 prizes here in the next 2 turns. That would be so difficult. In order to do that, he would need to play Dark Claw, which I don't think he plays. So I think at this point, it almost seems like Alex cannot lose the match. This has gone on for a full 75 minutes. Unbelievable. And Alex is actually going to retreat to his Deoxys and pass. Dustin will be the first turn of time. Now he needs to be tied at the end of the 3rd turn, or else Alex will be declared the victor of this match. We'll never know how this match would have played out completely. I mean, Alex would have played differently as well. Probably wouldn't have retreated that Absol if the game would have been extended fully. We do have an N for Dustin. Looks like he's going to try his best. Now, actually, I don't like Alex retreating to that Deoxys there. That actually opens up a play for Dustin to win the game. Dustin is alive still after he retreats to that Deoxys. What can happen here? Dustin can hit a Hypnotoxic Laser. And he misses it. Alright, so Dustin's going to concede the game. If he hit a laser there, that Deoxys could have stuck active, gone up to 150 damage, then it's just to catch your Absol, take 3 prizes, tie the game. There was still life there for Dustin. But Alex Brosseau is going to take this game. Big Chuck 01 is back. He is going to move on to 2-0 here at the Klaczynski Open. What an incredible series between 2 incredible players. We could not have asked for more in that match. That's for sure. I mean, it's a shame it ended on a time like that, but that is a factor in tournaments. These guys have 75 minutes. Super long game. What incredible play from both sides, though. In the end, though, Dustin's going to be 1-1. Alex will be 2-0. And will Alex's run continue here at the Klaczynski Open? I don't know. We got a long ways to go, but we have seen 2 pretty cool matches here in the first 2 rounds. So I am Pooka. I'll be back here with some more matches for you guys soon. Stay tuned. We'll be back.